The final bosses of Realm Klash solo raids are quite powerful, but they are not the ones that are going to give you a lot of headache. They have some interesting modifiers, and we're going to be looking at each of them, and we're going to be fighting them with unique teams. Starting with boss Darkseid, the final boss of tier 1. Now, this guy, his own gimmick is that he tags you out if he does a successful special against you. If he tags out one of your characters successfully 3 times, he's going to get damage buff. And yeah, the only way to remove his passive of tagging you out is to do 3 super moves. So essentially, all the characters in your team do super moves. Once they do that, even if you now take unblock special from him, because that's what a successful special is, an unblocked special. If you take an unblocked special from him, then your character is not going to be tagged out anymore. But in an ideal scenario, in the ideal gameplay, you don't even want to be taking super moves from him. That's why yes, you want to play in such a way that your CI is successful, and the only thing he can do, like in this scenario, is to do his super move. His super move doesn't count as a special, so you are fine to take his super move. He doesn't get any buff from that. Now, once that is clear, you can I think if you can just do CI against this boss, you can basically use any team against him and you'll be fine. In my case, I decided to use Superman, not because this is the only team or the best team to fight him. The idea of Superman versus Darkseid was just like I could not resist it. It's some sort of Justice League kind of fight, apocalypse, and you guys, if you are DC fans, you understand. Like, this was not a case of, oh, the best team to fight against Boss Darkseid is using DCU Superman. No, I love DCU Superman. Don't get me wrong. The character is very interesting. It's one of my favorite characters to use in solo raids at the moment. I really look forward to fights using DCU Superman. But yeah, I just wanted to do some Superman versus Darkseid type shit. So that's that. Now the second boss, the Screaming Queen, or Scream Queen if you prefer that. Boss Silver Banshee. This is one that used to be very annoying in the past. In fact, in the past, you would want to use like a way to, like, you want to have your maxed out resistance so that when you do because when you do specials against her, I think if you do 2 successful specials, you steal a ring. Then by the time you do the 3rd successful special, you are going to be able to stun the boss. And this boss cannot be stunned outside of the ring stunning. So if you carry a regular character that can stun the boss, stunning won't work. But if you have the ring, just the way I have the ring right now, if you are the Lord of the Ring at that point in time, you can stun the boss and return the ring back to Silver Banshee. So there's a kind of scenario where you can use League of Anarchy and be transferring rings and all of that. I'm not interested in giving anybody rings, especially not Silver Banshee. I'm not giving Silver Banshee any ring. So I'm not going to depend on the stun mechanic in the fight. What I'm going to depend on, however, is just using my character, not tagging out, because if you tag in any character, there's a chance you're going to get stunned. If you are stunned, she's going to do a lot of damage against that character. So I'm not even going to bother tagging in and out in this match. If you are going to go that route of tagging in and out, then you have to have max resistance. So just my own strategy, don't tag out, then yeah, just use Beast Boy and you are fine. Now, the third boss, boss Raiding. This guy isn't much of a threat, but the modifier he has is that he starts the match basically halfway. Every Injustice 2 mobile match is 3 minutes long. This guy's match is 1 minute and 30 seconds long. And the ways around this is either you use a team that's going to do a huge amount of damage within a short time, and yes, within 1 minute and 30 seconds, the match is over. That's one way you can go about it. Or you can get yourself more time by simply doing super moves, because for every super move you do, you get an extra 30 seconds. So I start the match with 1 minute and 30 seconds. I did super move with Scorpion, 30 seconds. That gave me 2 minutes. So essentially, I had 2 minutes in the fight instead of 1 minute and 30 seconds. If for some bizarre reason 2 minutes wasn't enough, then I will tag in another one of my characters and I will do super move with that character. I get another 30 seconds. Tagging another, you get the drift. Just once your 3 characters do super move, you essentially still have the 3 minutes to fight against the boss. But you likely not need that if you have a decently built team. Now for the low budget Mr. Freeze, Sub-Zero. This guy has a mechanic where he stacks 3 armors. You can see right now on his side of the screen, you can see X3. That X3 is 3 armors. So that armor basically means he's taking reduced damage, high defense, yada yada yada. I came to find that if you do dot damage against this guy, dot damage basically bypasses armor. I was expecting that armor is reducing all damage. That was my expectation going into the match, that okay, X3, which means it's not just heightening defense, because dot by default bypasses defense. So it's not that this guy is just having increased defense, is that he just, any damage you do against him is less. So the only hope you have is to play against the mechanic and try and reduce his armor by doing combo meter into special, like some number of combos into special. But I just decided to let me take a chance with dot damage, and I guess, yeah, I don't know. I think this might not be true, but maybe it is just all dot damage. But you know that there's hazard dot and there's regular dot. I don't know if maybe this is a scenario where hazard dot is overriding the defense mechanism of the opponent, because hazard dot basically doesn't have, there's nothing that cuts down hazard dot at the moment in the game. I think there's just one character that has a passive that is immune to hazard dot or reduces hazard dot, but yeah, hazard dot is different from your regular dot damage. So your metal team is very much capable of taking this match down easy peasy. You won't be stressed by the low budget Mr. Freeze. So yeah, I recommend metal team for this fight. If you have any other teams you use for this fight, let me know. If you play the mechanics, I did not play the mechanics. So yeah. Anyways, now the final fight. This one, okay, first off, I'll say he is powerful, so you don't have to take too many unblocked damage from Scorpion. So please, you have to be careful. He does a lot of damage, just like every final boss in solo raid. His basic attacks are going to be draining your character's health, so you have to look out for that. Another thing is that whenever he does specials, he's going to have permanent dots that he's creating, and those permanent dots will be stacking the more specials he does, and it's just going to make the match a lot more difficult for you. But of all these passives, the one that really stood out to me, and funny enough, the one that I forgot the first time I was fighting him, because this match you are seeing is the second time. The last video I dropped was the first time I fought him. I did not read the passive. I just went into the fight, and yeah, I was lucky. But the second time I actually read the passive, and I saw that if this guy does super move against your character, that character is done. Game over for that character. The character is out. Like his super move one-shots any character he's currently faced with. So that gives you 2 options, or maybe 3 options. Either you keep power draining him, like I am doing this match, or you beat him before he has a chance to do a super move, which means your character has to be stacked. You have to be doing a lot of damage within a very short time. Or yeah, you just sacrifice one character, essentially. So in most teams, you have one third character that is just there for passive. So if you cannot power drain him and you get to the point where he has to do super move, then just sacrifice one of the useless characters. Make sure any of whether your main damage dealer or your support character, make sure none of them are on the battlefield when this guy wants to do super move. If not, that character is gone. Anyways, this is the team I used against him. I would recommend this team as well, but of course you can use metal team, you can use other options, but this is my personal recommendation against boss Scorpion. Let me know, guys, across these 5 bosses, what teams did you guys use to take down the bosses? Smash the subscribe button. Let me know in the comment section. I will see you guys on the next one.